c4, e6, e3, d5, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7, d4, short castling, bishop e2, c5, d takes c5, bishop takes c5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, queen takes d5, e takes d5, short castling, knight c6, rook d1, bishop e6, a3, a5, bishop d2, rook a d8, rook a c1, bishop a7, bishop c3, h6, h3, knight e7, bishop takes a5, rook c8, bishop b4, rook fe8, bishop c3, knight f5, rook d2, knight d6, knight d4, knight c4, bishop takes c4, rook takes c4, rook cd1, bishop c5, knight takes e6, f takes e6, g3, bishop takes a3, bishop takes g7, king takes g7, b takes a3, rook c3, rook d3, black timeout, white is victorious. e4, d5, e takes d5, queen takes d5, knight f3, queen d8, bishop c4, knight f6, knight e5, e6, queen f3, bishop d6, d4, c5, c3, c takes d4, c takes d4, bishop takes e5, d takes e5, queen a5 check, knight c3, queen takes e5 check, bishop e3, short castling, short castling, knight c6, rook fe1, queen h5, queen g3, queen g4, queen c7, queen takes c4, rook a d1, queen g4, knight b5, a6, knight d6, queen g6, Bishop c5. Knight d5. Rook takes d5. E takes d5. Knight takes b7. Bishop takes b7. Bishop takes f8. Rook takes f8. Queen takes b7. Knight e5. Queen takes d5. Knight g4. h3. Knight f6. Queen c6. Knight h5. Queen b7. Knight f6. Rook e7. Knight e4. Rook d7. Knight f6. Rook c7. Knight e4. Queen takes a6. Queen takes a6. Rook c2. Queen takes a2. Rook e2. Black timeout. White is victorious. c4. c6. e3. d5. Knight f3. D takes c4. Bishop takes c4. Knight f6. Knight e5. e6. d4. g6. Short castling. Bishop g7. Rook e1. Knight bd7. f4. Knight e4. Knight d2. Knight df6. Bishop d3. Knight d6. Queen f3. Short castling. h3. a6. Bishop c2. Queen b6. a3. Rook d8. b4. Knight f5. Knight dc4. Queen c7. Bishop b2. Knight d5. Bishop takes f5. E takes f5. Rook ac1. Bishop e6. Rook c2. Queen e7. Rook ec1. Knight f6. Knight d2. a5. b5. Bishop d5. Queen e2. Knight e4. Knight takes e4. Bishop takes e4. Rook c5. C takes b5. Rook takes b5. Rook a b8. Rook bc5. a4. Queen c4. Bishop takes e5. F takes e5. Queen g5. Queen e2. Black timeout. White is victorious. d4. d5. Knight f3. Knight f6. g3. c6. Bishop g2. Bishop f5. Short castling. e6. c4. Bishop d6. Knight bd2. Short castling. e3. Rook e8. Rook e1. Bishop c7. a3. Knight bd7. b4. Bishop g4. Bishop b2. Queen e7. Queen c2. Bishop f5. Queen b3. Bishop g6. Knight h4. Bishop h5. b5. Rook a b8. Rook a c1. D takes c4. Knight takes c4. C takes b5. Queen takes b5. Knight b6. Knight e5. Bishop takes e5. D takes e5. Knight fd5. Bishop d4. Queen d7. Knight f3. Queen takes b5. White resigned, black is victorious. c4. c5. Knight f3. a6. e3. Knight f6. d4. C takes d4. E takes d4. d6. Knight c3. g6. Bishop e2. Bishop g7. Short castling. Short castling. Rook e1. e6. h3. Knight c6. Bishop e3. Knight e7. Queen d2. d5. c5. Rook e8. Bishop d3. Knight c6. Bishop c2. b6. C takes b6. Queen takes b6. Knight a4. Queen d8. b3. a5. Rook a d1. Knight b4. Bishop b1. Bishop a6. Bishop g5. Queen d6. Bishop f4. Queen e7. Bishop g5. Rook ec8. Knight c5. Bishop b5. a3. Knight c6. Rook c1. Queen d6. Bishop f4. Queen f8. Bishop e5. Knight takes e5. Knight takes e5. Knight e4. Knight takes e4. D takes e4. Rook takes e4. Rook d8. a4. Bishop a6. Rook e1. Queen d6. Rook cd1. Rook ac8. Queen takes a5. Bishop b7. Queen d2. Queen d5. f3. Black timeout, white is victorious. f4. d5. Knight f3. Knight f6. e3. c5. Bishop e2. Knight c6. Short castling. a6. d4. c4. Knight e5. E6. Knight D2. Bishop D6. C3. Short castling. Queen E1. Rook E8. Bishop F3. Queen C7. E4. D takes E4. Knight takes E4. Knight takes E4. Bishop takes E4. Knight E7. Queen H4. Knight F5. G4. Knight takes H4. White resigned, black is victorious. D4. E6. E4. D5. E5. C5. C3. Knight C6. Knight F3. Knight Ge7. Bishop G5. Queen B6. Queen D2. Knight F5. Bishop D3. C takes D4. Bishop takes F5. D takes C3. Knight takes C3. E takes F5. Knight takes D5. Bishop B4. Knight takes B4. Knight takes B4. Short castling. Short castling. Bishop E7. Knight C6. Bishop takes F8. King takes F8. Queen D6 check. King G8. B3. Bishop E6. Rook FD1. H6. H3. F4. Queen A3. Knight B4. Queen C1. Rook C8. Queen takes F4. Knight C2. Rook AC1. Knight A3. Rook takes C8 check. Bishop takes C8. Queen E3. Queen takes E3. F takes E3. Bishop E6. Rook D8 check. King H7. Knight D4. Black timeout, white is victorious.
You are done?
D4. D5. C4. C6. C takes D5. C takes D5. Knight C3. Knight F6. Knight F3. Knight C6. E3. Bishop G4. Bishop E2. E6. H3. Bishop H5. Short castling. Bishop D6. Rook E1. Short castling. A3. Rook E8. Bishop D2. A6. Rook C1. Rook c8. Queen b3. b5. a4. Knight a5. Queen a2. Knight c4. Bishop takes c4. B takes c4. Knight e5. Bishop takes e5. D takes e5. Knight d7. f4. Knight c5. Rook f1. Knight b3. Rook c2. Bishop g6. e4. D takes e4. Bishop e3. Queen d3. Rook ff2. Queen takes e3. Queen b1. Queen d3. White timeout. Black is victorious. d4. e6. e4. d5. E takes d5. Queen takes d5. Knight c3. Queen d8. Knight f3. Knight f6. Bishop b5 check. Bishop d7. Bishop takes d7 check. Knight b takes d7. Short castling. Bishop e7. d5. E takes d5. Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. Queen takes d5. c6. Queen d3. Knight f6. Queen takes d8 check. Rook takes d8. Bishop e3. b6. c3. Short castling. Rook a d1. Rook fe8. Rook fe1. Knight d5. Bishop d4. Bishop f6. Bishop takes f6. Knight takes f6. Rook takes e8 check. Rook takes e8. King f1. h6. Knight d4. c5. Knight f5. Rook e5. Knight e3. Knight e4. King e2. f5. f3. Knight f6. King f2. King f7. h3. Knight h5. Knight c4. Rook e7. Knight d6 check. King g8. Knight takes f5. Rook f7. Knight e3. Knight f4. Rook d8 check. King h7. Rook d1. b5. Rook d8. c4. Rook b8. Knight d3 check. King g1. a6. Rook a8. Knight takes b2. Rook takes a6. Rook e7, knight d5. Rook e1 check, king f2. Rook c1. Rook b6. Knight d1 check, king g3. Knight takes c3. Knight takes c3. Rook takes c3. Rook takes b5. Rook c2. a4. Rook c1. Rook c5. c3. a5. c2. a6. Rook a1. Rook takes c2. Rook takes a6. Rook c7. King g6. King h2. Rook a4. King g3. h5. Rook c6 check. King h7. Rook c7. King h6. h4. g6. Rook c6. Rook b4. Rook e6. Rook a4. Rook f6. Rook d4. Rook c6. King g7. Rook c7 check. King h6. Rook c6. King g7. Rook b6. Rook c4. Rook e6. King f7. Rook a6. Rook b4. Rook c6. King g7. Rook a6. King h6. Rook d6. Rook b2. Rook c6. Rook b4. Rook d6. Rook a4. Rook e6. Rook a5. Rook c6. Rook a4. Rook d6. Rook b4. Rook e6. King g7. Rook c6. King f7. Rook a6. e4. d5. E takes d5. Queen takes d5. Knight f3. Queen d8. Bishop c4. Knight f6. Short castling. Bishop f5. Knight e5. e6. Queen f3. Bishop e4. Queen f4. Bishop d6. d3. Bishop takes e5. Queen takes e5. Bishop g6. f4. Short castling. Knight d2. Knight c6. Queen e1. Knight d4. Knight f3. Knight takes c2. Queen c3. Knight takes a1. Bishop e3. Knight b3. Bishop takes b3. Queen takes d3. Queen takes d3. Bishop takes d3. Rook d1. Bishop e2. Rook c1. Bishop takes f3. G takes f3. c6. Bishop c5. Rook fd8. King f2. Knight d5. Bishop e3. Knight takes e3. King takes e3. Rook d7. Rook g1. Rook a d8. King f2. King f8. King e3. g6. h4. h5. f5. E takes f5. King f4. Rook d4 check. King g5. King e7. f4. Rook d3. Rook e1 check. King f8. White timeout, black is victorious. b3. d5. Bishop b2. c5. e3. e6. Knight f3. Knight f6. Bishop e2. Bishop e7. d4. C takes d4. Queen takes d4. Knight c6. Bishop b5. Bishop d7. Bishop takes c6. B takes c6. Short castling. c5. Queen d2. Rook b8. Knight c3. c4. Knight e2. Bishop b4. c3. Bishop e7. b4. a5. a3. Short castling. h3. Bishop a4. Knight ed4. Queen d7. Knight e5. Queen c8. f3. Bishop d6. Knight g4. Queen d8. Knight takes f6 check. Queen takes f6. f4. Queen g6. Rook f2. Queen e4. Rook a f1. f5. Knight f3. h6. Queen d4. Rook fd8. Queen takes e4. D takes e4. Knight d4. e5. Knight takes f5. E takes f4. E takes f4. Bishop f8. Knight d4. Bishop d6. f5. Rook e8. Rook e2. Bishop e5. Rook fe1. Bishop takes d4 check. C takes d4. Black timeout, white is victorious. e4. d5. E takes d5. Queen takes d5. Knight f3. Queen d8. Bishop c4. Knight f6. Short castling. Bishop f5. Knight e5. e6. Queen f3. Bishop e4. Queen e3. Bishop d6. d4. Short castling. c3. c6. Knight d2. Bishop g6. Knight df3. Queen c7. h3. Knight bd7. Knight takes g6. H takes g6. Knight d2. Bishop f4. Queen e2. Bishop h6. Knight e4. Bishop takes c1. Rook takes c1. Rook fe8. f4. Rook a d8. Knight d2. Knight b6. Bishop b3. Knight bd5. Knight f3. Knight takes f4. Queen e3. Knight 4 d5. Queen e2. Queen f4. Knight e5. Queen e3 check. Queen takes e3. Knight takes e3. Rook f3. Knight ed5. Rook cf1. Rook e7. g4. g5. Rook 3 f2. g6. Knight f3. Knight e4. Rook e2. Knight g3. Knight takes g5. Knight takes e2 check. King g2. Knight ef4 check. White resigned, black is victorious. d4. e6. c4. c5. D takes c5. Bishop takes c5. Knight c3. Knight f6. Knight f3. Short castling. Bishop g5. b6. e3. Bishop b7. Bishop e2. Knight c6. Knight e4. Bishop e7. Short castling. Knight takes e4. Bishop takes e7. Queen takes e7. a3. Knight f6. Queen d2. d5. C takes d5. Knight takes d5. Rook fd1. Rook fd8. Queen c2. Knight f6. Rook ac1. Rook takes d1 check. Bishop takes d1. h6. h3. Knight d5. Bishop e2. Knight a5. b4. Knight c6. Queen b2. Knight d8. Queen e5. Rook c8. Rook takes c8. Bishop takes c8. e4. Queen c7. E takes d5. Queen takes e5. Knight takes e5. E takes d5. King f1. Bishop e6. King e1. f6. Knight f3. Knight f7. King d2. King f8. King e3. King e7. King d4. King d6. Bishop d1. Knight e5. Knight d2. g5. Bishop e2. Knight g6. Bishop f1. Knight f4. Knight f3. Bishop f5. Knight h2. Bishop e4. Knight g4. King e6. f3. h5. Knight e3. Black timeout, white is victorious. b3. e5. Bishop b2, knight c6, e3, d5, d3, knight f6, h3, bishop d6, knight f3. Short castling, bishop e2, rook e8, short castling, e4, d takes e4, d takes e4, knight d4, bishop e5, c3, knight e7, knight d2, knight f5, knight c4, c5, knight takes e5, c takes d4, c takes d4, knight d6, rook c1, bishop d7, bishop a3, bishop e6, rook c2, rook c8, queen c1, rook takes c2, queen takes c2, queen c8, queen c7, queen takes c7, white timeout, black is victorious. d4, e6, knight f3, d5, c4, knight f6, c takes d5, knight takes d5, a3, bishop e7, e4, knight f6, e5, knight d5, knight c3, c5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, d takes c5, queen takes c5, bishop e2, short castling, rook d8, queen e1, knight c6, bishop e3, queen d5, rook d1, queen e4, rook takes d8 check, bishop takes d8, queen c3, bishop e7, bishop d3, queen a4, bishop c2, queen b5, rook d1, b6, bishop d3, queen a4, b3, black timeout, white is victorious. e4, d5, e takes d5, queen takes d5, knight f3, queen d8, bishop c4, knight f6, short castling, c6, d3, bishop f5, knight e5, e6, queen f3, bishop g6, bishop g5, bishop e7, rook e1, short castling, knight takes g6, h takes g6, knight c3, knight bd7, bishop d2, queen c7, knight e4, knight e5, queen e2, knight takes c4, d takes c4, knight takes e4, queen takes e4, bishop f6, c3, rook fd8, bishop e3, a6, h4, queen e5, queen takes e5, bishop takes e5, rook ad1, bishop f6, g3, king f8, king g2, rook takes d1, rook takes d1, rook d8, rook takes d8 check, bishop takes d8, king f3, king e8, b3, bishop c7, king e4, king d7, g4, bishop d8, h5, g takes h5, g takes h5, f6, f4, bishop c7, a4, f5 check, king f3, king e7, bishop d4, king f7, bishop e5, bishop takes e5, f takes e5, king g8, king f4, king h7, king g5, king h8, b4, king g8, b5, c takes b5, c takes b5, king f7, c4, king e7, c5, king d7, king g6, f4, king takes g7, f3, h6, f2, h7, f1 promotes to queen, h8 promotes to queen, queen g2 check, king f6, queen f3 check, king g6, queen f5 check, king g7, queen g5 check, king f8, queen e7 check, king g8, queen e8 check, king h7, queen h5 check, king g8, queen e8 check, king h7, queen h5 check, king g8, queen e8 check. Threefold repetition draw.